Right. You may remember the best-selling book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Well, the author of that book, Rabbi Harold Kushner, is here because he's got a brand new book about life. Good morning, Rabbi Kushner.
Good morning, Liz.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, please. First of all, not only is it delightful to be on with you, it's delightful to be in San Diego rather than Boston in February.
Pretty nice, right?
Right, yes.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the new book, 9 Essential Things I've Learned About Life. This is your newest book about what you have learned over your years of religion and life and experiences.
Yes, I was prepared to answer certain questions. Went out into the world, found out those are not the questions people needed from me. For example, I've got a chapter in the book which I call Forgiveness is a Favor You Do Yourself, Not the Person Who Offended You. It grows out of an encounter I had early in my career. I gave a Yom Kippur sermon teaching what I'd been taught, that as we come to synagogue and ask God to forgive us for our mistakes, we should forgive other people for their mistakes. A woman of the congregation comes in to see me the next morning, furious with me. She tells me about how her husband left her for a younger woman, doesn't pay the bills, doesn't have any connection with his children, and she says, "You want me to forgive him for what he did? I don't believe I did anything to anybody as cruel as that." And I realized that my old answers didn't help. What I did answer is, yeah, I want you to forgive him because you realize what you're doing. You are giving him the power to define you as an unlikable person. All you have to do, you are renting him space in your head. All you have to do is evict him from that. You have the power to tell him you are not worth my spending my time and energy on. And you will feel better for it. Our being angry at somebody doesn't hurt them, and it makes us feel impotent.
That is such, that's such wise, the wise words, wise ideas that it's sometimes hard in theory. In theory, it makes a lot of sense. In practice, it's very difficult.
No, in practice, it's the easiest thing in the world.
Really? I find it very hard.
You will feel so much better. Get this burden off you. Why are you giving that person the power to define you? And that's all it takes. It's Nelson Mandela in a prison in South Africa saying, they can put my body in prison, but I'm the only person who could put my mind in prison. And as soon as he let go of that hatred, he was a free man.
Isn't that amazing? What else? What are some of the other life lessons that you have learned over your years, besides that one, which is monumental to me?
That people who are so sophisticated in every aspect of life still go around with a 12-year-old's notion of God. I had a teenager come to me and say, I can't believe in God anymore. There was something I wanted real badly. I prayed so hard and I reminded God of all the good things I did and I didn't get it. I said to him, this God you pray to, he doesn't happen to live at the North Pole, does he? Because that sounds a lot like a letter to Santa Claus. No, you don't ask God to give you things. You ask God to give you the strength to handle whatever life throws at you. Do you remember a few years ago there was this major experiment on whether prayer helps surgery people?
Yes, we were just talking about this, and I do remember when it happened.
Yeah. They took this vast cohort of surgical patients, divided them into 3 even groups. One group was prayed for and they knew it. One group was prayed for and they didn't know it. And one group was not prayed for. Made no difference at all in how well people recovered. CNN interviewed me about that. The interviewer said, doesn't that prove that prayer makes no difference at all? I said to her, no, and I think this is my favorite line in the book. I said, the purpose of prayer, God's role isn't to make sick people healthy. That's a doctor's job. God's role is to make sick people brave. God's role is to make sick people strong, optimistic, not lose their faith when things don't work out for them. This book, like my first book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, like everything I've written, was inspired by the death of our 14-year-old son to a rare disease. People ask me, how can you believe in God? You work so hard as a religious leader. he could do this to you. I say, I don't blame God for it. No, it was genetics that made my son die. It was God who gave my wife and myself the strength to overcome that and go on believing in life and love.
Well, Rabbi Kushner, thank you so much for your time this morning and the wisdom that you have been able to share with us this morning. Tonight, you can go see the Rabbi tonight. We have all that information on KUSI.com. 7:30 tonight at the Lawrence Family Jewish Community Center. Tickets are still available. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego after this.